Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Anime Classroom. Today we are talking I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire. It was actually a surprising anime to say the least. It's actually brand new. I normally don't jump on the brand new anime till they at least have one season. Now, to be fair, there is 12 episodes in this season, and I did jump on episode 11. So I have seen all 11 episodes up to this point, and the season finale is next week. It's a pretty good anime. I'm not gonna lie, but there is some things I would like to see better. It's 4.5 on Crunchyroll, which is something I would actually kind of agree with. So we're gonna go ahead and mimic the stars right here. Uh, can I make a half star? I don't know if I can make a half star. Interesting. I'm gonna put it at 4. It definitely does not deserve a 5. But let's go ahead and go into it, and we'll see if this is the anime for you. So we start off in this big battle scene, right? In the very first episode, we're already treated to what seems like Gundams here, right? And yes, there is some mech stuff in this show, even though the mechs aren't the main point. It is actually a fascinating thing. They do use 3D models in some of the fights with the mechs, and then do the normal animation during other parts of the fight, which is actually pretty redonkulously cool, if you ask me. We get our first look at the main character there and his maid assistant. Now, this maid has a secret, and it's not a normal maid, but we will see as the episode progresses. Yep, not a normal maid whatsoever. I wonder what her story is. Okay. So, as we see, there's a bunch of mobile knights also being commanded by another strange character here that seems to be under the main character's control. And here we see the maid initiating the partial sequences for those robots, it would seem. And here we go. Another character that we don't know. This battle has not yet taken place. This starts as a battle in the future that we have not seen. And I don't think we've seen this battle actually on screen yet. I don't think this is actually the battle at the end of the season. And I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But yeah, we see another girl piloting a mobile suit just like Gundam, and she's pretty good at it, I would say. Yep. Uh, she seems to be a little bit eccentric. And there's the main character. Well, I really like these laser cannon shots. Like, the laser cannons for the fights are really, really cool. And then we see this character, which we know nothing about. So, moving on. So now we get some backstory on this character's, like, past life, as you can see here. So it looks like he comes home to a loving family. And she's making food for him, it would seem. That's his wife, and then he has a daughter. And he's worked nonstop, so he literally has to work till like night. He only gets to like see his daughter in passing and his wife in passing, and his wife is always nice about it and like, hey, you just need to do what you need to do. That's his boss, who literally is like the worst. In a shocking twist, though, the main character sees his wife and daughter not where they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be at like some kind of sports complex, and they're not there. And then his little girl out of nowhere calls another man Papa, which is weird in itself, I know. And this is just the first episode, let me mind you. Now, he doesn't let this bother him. He tells him that his wife's not cheating and his daughter is, like, it was just a weird thing that happened. Here, his daughter gets hurt and he's called outside of work in order to be there for her, and the doctor asks for a blood transfusion. Now, he is AB positive and she's the O type, which is rare, and her daughter is the O type, which means that it is very unlikely that she is actually his daughter at this point. This is literally confirmed by his wife in the next thing when he confronts her about it. And she goes that he's promised her happiness and that he did not deliver on it. He barely makes enough for them to live in a, moderately nice house, and his daughter is not actually his daughter, and she's been sleeping with another guy for like 10 years on top of this. So, and she doesn't even consider them married, and she is just gonna straight out leave him now. To make matters worse, it turns out that he is accused of embezzling the next day at work their funds, and it turns out his boss did it when he was away from his computer when he got the call that his daughter was injured. It was all orchestrated by his wife and his boss in order to get him away from the computer so that they could frame him. It turns out that his boss is the guy that she called Papa, and the guy that his wife's been with for the last 10 years behind his back. His boss actually makes him work this hard all the time in order for him to stay away from his wife. And I guess the wife is in on it as well, which is terrible because it makes it all seem like it's his fault. So he gets fired, and instead of being arrested, he is told that he has to repay the debts and that he embezzled, which he didn't. And he gets work at a construction job all through his old boss in order to ensure that he is suffering, and he eventually becomes so sick that he basically keels over. There's a dark entity known as the Guide that basically sees him in his last moments and offers him a chance at another life and another, like, a reincarnation, and promises him that he can be happy if he just chooses another life. Now, this guide is not who he seems. He runs on negative emotions. He actually wants this guy just to be suffering longer, so that is why he's wants him to take on another life. And he is reincarnated as a count, or a son of a count, which becomes a count really fast. As we see here, this glowing dog thing that's almost in every single episode that we don't know, like, what the glowing dog is or, like, the purpose of it. I don't even know, and I'm past episode 11. So, glowing dog is probably someone that helps him. We see him almost every single episode, and it's probably the reason why this guide's plans isn't coming to fruition. Because episode 1 isn't a great feel about how the series would go and if you would like it or not. So we are going to take some steps into 2, and I'm only going to do some things from 2 because we're going into almost a 10-minute territory, so I want to make sure we do fair use. So, here, we have him being reincarnated into, like, a younger than 10-ish person. Maybe it's a 12-ish person. I don't remember. Well, anyway, he gets, for his birthday, he gets a bunch of presents, including creating an AI robot. And then after he's gifted this AI robot and puts in for the design, his parents trick him into signing this contract, which basically makes him the count and ruler of the whole planet. And it's because they're stifling in debt, and he has to pay his parents, who just abandoned him, an allowance to live in, like, the royal nice planet. So he doesn't know he has all this crippling debt, and when he signs it away, it's all his responsibility and not his parents' responsibility, and they literally abandon him. Here we are introduced to this AI-made robot named Omega, or something like that, and she is literally just like a human, except she's an AI. She's a bit stronger and, of course, a bit smarter. And, of course, in any anime typical scene, there is a scene here that's not okay for Texas. And we will pass it. if you live in Texas, here you go, we're passing. Now, he becomes quite chummy with the AI to the butler's disdain, because AIs cannot bear children, and as an heir, or as the final heir of the Bonfeld family, he's expected to have children. But of course an AI cannot provide this, and he has grown an attachment to the AI. Also, AI also once enslaved humanity, we find out in this episode, and they are frowned upon by most nobles. Again, his parents don't care about him, so that's why they gifted him an AI. So yeah, that's the first 2 episodes of I'm an evil overlord of an intergalactic empire. Like I said, it's a pretty good watch. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone below 18. It's not as bad as, like, say, Goblin Slayer, or as adult as that. And those scenes that I joked about, not for Texas, you don't see anything. Nothing really happens. There is some weird stuff that does happen later, and not weird as in like horrific or anything like that. If you've seen Goblin Slayer or Konosuba or anything like that, this is pretty tame in comparison. But yeah, there is going to be some skin showing in like episode 8, and it's one scene with the blonde girl there. But again, it's not done for like the sexual premise. It's done when they recreate her body, and I'm not gonna say why they have to do that or anything, but there is some dark moments in like episode 7. The pirates are pretty evil in this, and for being an evil overlord, he's actually probably a force of good in this world, and he's actually defeating all the evil people. It's quite funny and ridiculous, and there's a joke going on that the guide only thrives on negative emotions, yet he only gives positive emotions because he's so grateful for this life, and it's directly to the guide who he thinks is his friend, and it's like slowly killing the guide. Again, it's not going to be a 10 out of 10. It's not capable of that. It's not going to be a 9 out of 10. It's not going to be an 8 out of 10. It's probably around a 7.7 right now. And depending on the way the second season goes, or even the way this season goes, it could reach an 8. It could reach somewhere in the 8. I would never give it anything higher. But if you like mobile suits, Gundams, and the Isekai, this is not one that will waste your time. I kind of like it. I really like the bond between him and the AI maid over there. The princess, we don't know much about her up to this point, unless you read the manga or light novel that came with this. I did not. I'm strictly an anime watcher. So as of right now, we don't know a lot about her. Her story is very tragic, I do have to say. I do feel for her. Anyone that's gone through something she's gone through, oh my goodness. I'm happy to learn more about the princess here. Well, that is my anime classroom on I'm an evil overlord of an intergalactic empire. I do recommend it. Thank you. 18 and above.